It's not tea, but it should have been. Sucking down Darjeeling with 3 enchanted sisters. Welcome back to another amazing episode of Rounds of the Knight's Table. I'm Jim.
I am Eric.
And today we're going to talk about Rocketman. This film stars Taron Egerton, Bryce Dallas Howard, Robb Stark, Richard Madden, Jamie Bell. And this film is about the life of Sir Elton John.
It's not every day you get knighted.
Elton John grew up, he was this fat little kid. And
Reginald White.
People don't pay to see Reginald White. They pay to see Elton John. Good day, sir.
I said good day.
I said good day. Might as well tell you to fuck your mother. That's what it sounds like. Let's talk about the good. I liked the way this movie transitioned, with his music kind of serving that transitional purpose, from him being the fat little kid that his daddy didn't love him.
When are you gonna hook me?
Don't be soft, boy. Do your duty. Hey, they should have just had Stannis. But then I guess he would have burned Elton John. Elton John. I don't know who that is. Bryce Dallas Howard was in this, and I didn't even know it until we walked in there, and I was like, no red hair. Disappointed. She's never disappointed. Taron Egerton, who I don't necessarily care for more oftentimes than not, and I don't know why. I'm just a hater. I'm just a hater for no reason. Taron Egerton.
So what you're saying is that should be haterade in that cup.
That is haterade. But it's on the decaf today because I thoroughly enjoyed him in this role. And I didn't even realize, and my kids love sing, is that he sang an Elton John song in that movie. And I'm wondering if that played a part.
Who did he play?
The gorilla.
Oh, he was the gorilla?
Yeah. Like, I knew that going in, but I didn't realize that he had sang that Elton John song in that movie. I never sat down and watched the whole thing. I'm still standing. That's what he sings in Sing. And I'm wondering if that played a part in him getting this role. I wonder. Because he has a good voice. Dexter Fletcher directed this movie, and I thought he did a good job illustrating the life of Elton John. It was hard for him. It wasn't easy. I mean, the way he had to deal with it, the way he had to deal with his father, even his mother, who kind of was,
His mother was
more supportive than his father. But...
I mean, supportive, accepting. And he really had to struggle with that sexuality, and in that day and time. And his mother wasn't very supportive. No one's ever going to love you properly.
But then even with his business manager, Richard Madden, Robb Stark, that's what it's always going to be, Robb Stark, plays with his emotions. And
he's like just with him for fun, and then he starts like cheating on him. Who says it's cheating? We don't really have anything that special. This
movie to me played out like a musical, but very much like a theatrical musical, one that you see on Broadway. And I thought that's what it did really well. Like, it reminded me of Chicago and Moulin Rouge, and I don't think that it's classified as a musical. They used his music to their benefit in this movie. Dexter Fletcher directed this movie. He came on to direct Bohemian Rhapsody after Bryan Singer had been fired. And I think that's what they wish that they could have had in that movie. But I mean, obviously, Rami Malek did great. The relationship between Elton and Bernie wrote all his wrote a lot of his music, the lyrics for his music. It was just a relationship that worked. And, Elton was kind of like a diva. Bernie kept him there a little grounded. And I thought that they had such a great chemistry between them, even though Elton kind of like loved him.
Tried to make a move.
Like, I love
you, man, but not like that. It starts with him showing up at this random...
Like an AA kind of meeting.
Yeah.
But he's dressed in his flamboyant devil gear. And the story's kind of told through that perspective. He's reflecting on his life and really opening up about all that is wrong, to come together in the end and address his demons with his sobriety, confront his mom. I mean, the way they did it was they walk in to the center, and that soundtrack. I mean, anytime you get Elton John's soundtrack, no Lion King, though? I don't think they got to that point, right?
No, it was really like just 20 went years before
up
that.
To his sobriety, just through his drug days, his orgy days. Show Robb Stark's tootie for those of you interested. You won't see his throat slashed in the
You won't get to see him wear a wolf's head.
Shots fired. Shots fired. Oh, but I guess his character arc was completed. Let's talk about the bad. Long.
Oh, God.
This movie, I think, was 2 hours.
2 hours, 1 minute, according to IMDb.
For me, it felt like 2.5 hours.
For me, it felt like 3.5 hours. The movie started around 8 o'clock after the 30-minute previews. When I checked my watch afterwards, I thought it was going to say 11:30.
It was long, and they laid the sob on you heavy. And they went back to it. I thought it was a little redundant with the amount of times. The struggle he went through with his father a few times.
Because he even goes back to him later as an adult.
There's an importance to it. It felt way too long. And I think the movie suffered for it a little bit. Not like entirely, because again, I enjoyed it. I'm still standing. Well, I mean, I guess technically right now I'm sitting, but the fuck do you know? I could be standing up here. I could be 3'8". Maybe. My legs are like this long. You don't know?
You know, I know you mentioned it for the good part, and that you liked it. But I thought some of the musical numbers were over the top.
Bro, it's Elton fucking John.
I get
it's Elton John. It's supposed to be over the top.
I get it's Elton John. I get it's a movie about his life, and he was very flamboyant, and, you know, his music at the time was a little over the top. The musical parts of this movie, some of the theatrics of it were a little out there. I get he was, you know, way doped up at the time. And they hit you with one after the other of huge theatrics. But I felt it was a little overdone. I mean, I get it. Over the years, he gets more flamboyant. He gets more over the top. So you have to be a little more over the top. But don't start over the top and then stay way over the top.
According to the laws of Sylvester Stallone, there's only one place to stay, and that's over the top. I just spun my hat around and pinned you.
I almost feel like we didn't get enough preteen, teenage Elton. Because it went straight from, you know, he's little young Reginald White to like kind of preteen, teenage Reginald Dwight for like 5 seconds. And then he's immediately adult Reginald right before he becomes Elton. I feel like we didn't get enough of that little in-between. I'm not going to say his life wasn't very eventful for those few years. Maybe that's just they wanted to get to the eventful part.
Or would you just be sitting here complaining about another transitional number?
I mean, I might. Just like your kids are going to complain you broke their glasses. No, your big head's stretching them.
What up?
Still doesn't fit.
You go to lids. 12.5 fitted.
Final thoughts. I thought it was a little over the top in some areas. That's just me. I still enjoyed the movie, for what it's worth. But I would only score it a 6-8.
See, for me, it was enjoyable. I like the music. I mean, it's Elton John. I appreciated Taron Egerton doing the singing. I thought there was some good acting, some good moments. Really got a good glimpse into his life and his struggle, you know, even as just being an overweight child. How you kind of have to kill that person.
You gotta kill the person you were born to become the person you want to be.
Like that. It's a really good story. I mean, if you look at Elton John. Because you can't see my legs, I didn't wear them, but I should have worn my silver sequin pants. And I should have worn them with a boa to go see this movie. Because it is supposed to be over the top. It is supposed to be flashy and flamboyant. 8.0 out of 10. If you saw Rocketman, let us know what you thought. Leave us a message down in the comments. Hit that like. Press that subscribe. And we will check you out next time only on Rounds of the Knight's Table.